Giants take a 2-1 lead. They end up holding on for the win. Moving on to the weird Yankees Rays. Bottom two, no outs, nobody on. Hey, Randy Arozarena fouls one off, breaks his bat. Look down at the bat. Uh-oh, it's new Ray Nelson Cruz. Here's what you know. Don't break borrowed stuff. You borrow your lawnmower from your neighbor, you come turn it back broken. Oh, he's going to be furious. Next up. Wonderful. Mets Braves. No, I'm just talking about borrowing stuff. You don't necessarily buy it. It's a store. Okay, Austin Riley hits 2 home runs and gets the best celebration in Major League Baseball. And we have a lot. I like the Padres spinning home run chain, but there's nothing better than Pablo Sandoval's big panda hat, and that includes the Mets home run horse. And that's the weird and the wonderful from the national pastime.
I love it. That was great. Time now for Take Your Pick.
Thanks,
all right, here we go. Training camp's abuzz. The New England Patriots have a quarterback battle brewing. Could be the rookie Mac Jones. Could be the vet Cam Newton. Could be a quarterback conundrum. Bill Belichick was asked yesterday about his signal callers, and in pure Belichick style, he cleared everything up perfectly. Take a listen.
Every one of us has to go out and establish our level of performance in whatever our role or capacity is. So it's a new season. You know, we've done some things in the spring, but this is really the start of football season in terms of the team building part here in training camp. So we all have a lot of work to do. That includes all of us. So until we go out and do anything, then it's pretty much of a clean slate.
Less of an answer to a question it could not be.
Very enlightening.
Brandon, who should be the Patriots Week 1 starter? Cam Newton or Mac Jones? Take your pick.
All right, so there's going to be a common theme throughout my answers in this block. I'm going to go with the best man. And Coach Belichick is right. You know, this is the start of the season. Show me what you got over the next 4 to 5 weeks. Mac Jones. What's special about Mac Jones? This dude is a coach out there. I talked to Devontae Smith when he was going through his Heisman process and the PR campaign there. And I was like, man, talk to me about this kid. I know about you. I know who you are. He said, Brandon, he's the smartest dude out there. He said, this dude is always 5 to 10 moves ahead of everybody, even the coaches. So that's what you get there. And with Cam Newton, he's not a guy that's going to throw for 4,000, 5,000 yards. Hell, he's only done it 1 year where he threw for 4,000 yards. But what he does give you is he gives you the leadership. He gives you the swag, the flair. He brings up the camaraderie, the energy. And, he's a playmaker. Cam Newton is a playmaker. That guy right there behind Mac Jones, Josh McDaniels, he can get creative with Cam. Cam just has to do a good job of setting protection. He didn't do that well last year. And then also just protecting the ball, making the right throws. That's what Cam Newton needs to do. So the best man will win this job.
I'm with Brandon on that. Unless you have a star incumbent, then it's got to be about competition. And we're just getting started, so let the best man win. That said, I'm not loving the way Mac Jones was filling out that jersey. The eye test tells me Cam by a mile. You know, I get it though, Wiles. We used to say that about Tom Brady once upon a time, right? So I'm going to go, though. If I got to pick somebody, I'm picking Cam. I'm picking Cam because he is a leader. We know the players on that roster love him. We know Belichick loves him. And it's always, my common theme, Brandon, through these answers will be, it's always easier to go back to the rookie than to go back to the old guy. If they start Mac Jones and he looks bad through 4 or 5 games, now you got to put Cam Newton in and you mess with Mac's psyche. The fans are in an uproar. Now everybody's wondering, did they make a mistake? Rather, if you start Cam Newton and he struggles early, you can always go to the rookie Mac Jones. So I say start Cam. And Cam did look good last year. They were 2-1, darn near 3-0 before he got COVID. And maybe COVID impacted him, right? Maybe that impacted him a bit. Right. So I'm going to go with Cam.
Yeah, so Cam said that COVID didn't impact him physically, but he did get behind in the playbook, and he said it on a great podcast. Let me look it up, House of Athlete. It's good if you listen to it every once in a while. It's fantastic. So I start Cam.
About House of Athlete.
Oh, geez, I screwed it up. All right, we'll edit it for the re-air. I know it's happening. Okay, So I start Cam, and even if Cam gets benched, he was benched 3 times last year, Brandon. But we were always kind of playing musical chairs who's coming in. Stidham got a few runs when he missed the game with COVID. Brian Hoyer started, then Hoyer was pulled. Stidham came in. The takeaway from that is Belichick doesn't believe in Hoyer anymore. He's just kind of Tom Brady's old backup. And he doesn't really believe in Stidham or he wouldn't have drafted Mac Jones. So I do think that if Cam gets benched, it will be Mac Jones. But I don't rule out Cam starting again. Belichick really likes Cam, and I think he wants to take time and sort of run the Alex Smith-Mahomes play with here. Like, let Cam play for as long as possible. Let him play the whole season because we're about winning. Let Mac Jones sit and see what Cam can deliver. So I'm pro Cam.
Yeah. Well, listen, we're going to see, it's crazy to say this. People may laugh at me. We're truly going to see who Coach Belichick is. For the past 20 years, outside of last year, he didn't have to worry about the quarterback position. He had who? He had Tom Brady, the GOAT there. So now you got to be careful how you move with at that quarterback position, putting them in, taking them out. We saw that with Cam Newton. That messes with their psyche. We always talk about the quarterbacks just being more fragile than any other guy. Like, who are you to say, oh, we can't draft a guy? Who are you to say we shouldn't have competition at this position? So Coach Belichick, he has to be on his game this year to get this team over this hump and out through this transition phase.
It's a good point, Brandon, about Belichick not having to have made that decision the last couple of years. Head out west to San Francisco now, where camp is opening, but rookie quarterback Trey Lance still unsigned, which means Jimmy Garoppolo remains QB1 for now. His head coach Kyle Shanahan talked about his quarterback yesterday. Take a listen.
Jimmy's going through OTAs, what he's done. I mean, he's our best quarterback in the building right now. So he'll start out training camp that way, and we got 3 other guys behind him. We're going to give Trey the first chance, obviously, as the backup. And anytime a guy's playing a lot better than the guy in front of him is when you start to split reps up with that team and start to talk about it. But, Trey's had 7 practices with us, and haven't seen him for 40 days. So not thinking about that right now.
John Lynch literally took the smallest sip of water I've ever seen. Hey, Brandon, who should be the 49ers Week 1 starter? Jimmy G or Trey Lance? Take your pick.
The best man. But what Coach was just saying, Coach Shanahan, we call him Shano. That was revealing. It seems like he's disappointed. It seems like he's a little frustrated with Trey not being there. Only having him 7 days throughout the offseason, not seeing him in the last 40 days. There's a message in that message for old Trey Lance. But here's the deal. The theme, like I said, is the best man, all right? Jimmy G. Jimmy G has to do 2 things in hell. We may not see Trey Lance the entire year. All right, and those 2 things are, 1, stay healthy. And the other thing that we haven't talked about and nobody's leaning into it because they're wondering, like, why isn't this working? This was supposed to be the second coming of Brett Favre and all these other great quarterbacks. What's going on with Jimmy G out there in the Bay? Well, he's a little bit of a slow blinker. That's the reality. This dude has it physically, but you got to be able to go out there at the line of scrimmage and process right away. You have to make the right decision in a split second. That's the thing that's held Jimmy G back. You got 2 plays at the line of scrimmage in that offense sometimes. Are you going to get them in the right position? Are you going to say, the numbers tell me to do this? That's what Jimmy G needs to do. If he does those 2 things, if he's not a slow blinker, and he also stays healthy, we may not see Trey Lance all year.
That's right.
I'm with you, Brandon. Jimmy G is not necessarily a Pro Bowler or anything like that, or an All-Pro, let me put it that way. But for all his faults, I mean, he needs to throw guys open a little more too, right? We could go there too. But for all his faults, this dude is a winner. There's only one thing that's held him back, despite those things, and it is his health. He is 22-8 with San Francisco over the last 4 years. Guess what those same 49ers are without him? 7-27. So he's taking guys that can't win without him And he's winning football games. Remember, they were 1-10 when he took over. I get it was in 2017. But he went 5-0 immediately. This dude, there's something about him. He's a winner. They're a Super Bowl team when he's there. And they're an also-ran when he's not. And that's with the Wonder Boy, Kyle Shanahan, as the head coach all those years. So to me, this is not a question. We know who the best man